Good evening, friends. Welcome to a special episode of Who's in the News. And look who we have. We have the lovely and fantastic Adrian from Red Lentil Healing. Big shout out to her. And we have the wonderful and fantastic Johnny from Tarot's Apprentice. Big shout out to both of them for being here at Dozen Cats. I'm so excited. I'll try to contain myself. I'll try to be cool. Yeah,
you better sing it from the bottom of your heart.
Absolutely. I am all about it. So we are here. We're going to do some Who's in the News. So whatever that means to you, I've got some political questions written down, and I appreciate all of your patience because you know that I don't do political. But, you know, I got some questions, friends. I got some questions, and I have no better people that I could think of to help me find the answers that I need to those questions than Adrian and Johnny. So before we get started, Adrian and Johnny's links to their channels are in the description box below the video. Please do go show my friends some love. They are wonderful, fantastic, lovely people, and I'm just so excited. Do you guys have anything that you want to share before we get started about what's coming up for you guys on your channels?
Nothing.
Come on. So Johnny does he's doing nightly Monday to Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern time night owl tarot, I believe is what you call it, right, Johnny?
That sounds right.
Yeah. So go and check that out if you want. Adrian does Friday nights with friends, right? So that's Friday night. So everybody, go subscribe, check it out. Because listen, I'm telling you what, I'm all about the wellness, and all you need to do is go hook into these two, and you will giggle, and some more giggling will happen, and it will set you to rights, my friends. I swear by it. I mean, you don't even really have to listen to the readings. Not that you don't want to, but just listen to the giggles because they are so good for your health. Truly. All right, lots of people in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for being here. All right, friends, here is my first question. You ready? I know you're sitting on bated breath. What was that meeting all about where Mr. DJT showed up at a Virginia golf course, his Virginia golf course, where no golf was being played? There was not, as Adrian said. Adrian said. There wasn't a dang golf club in sight. There was about a dozen people there, and some photos have been taken. So I don't know where people were hiding in the bushes, y'all, or whatever, but they were taking photos, and they were all just like standing around talking. It was like a really, really, really suspicious, it was a suspicious moment. So let's find out. Let's find out what they're all up to. I'm going to use my deck of character. Because it seems like
you think we can put like Eric over here, we could put Dawn over there, and we can probably put Jared on hole 3 and right next to Ivana.
Do you think? Oh, I wonder. Do you think that they were looking for future burial sites?
Oh.
Nah, man.
Can you just imagine, those big wheels that you do to like measure out parking lots and stuff? Donald walking the golf course with the big wheel trying to figure out. Sorry, that's wrong on so many levels. I apologize. Yes, thank you, Vivian, for entertainment purposes only. If you guys have a question, pop it in the chat. Make sure you put it in capitals and emojis so that I see them.
Too funny. That whole thing was sus. It's sus. It feels sus. It looks sus. It is sus. It smells sus. I'm the kind of person that people are like, oh my God, what's going on in DC? And I'm like, I don't know what's going down the street. I don't pay attention to people, right? This was the first time in a very long time that I almost wanted to get in the car and drive down
there, check it out. Get your binocs out and be like, what's going on?
Bushes. Like, here's the bush. And I'm like, Because I'm like, this, I mean, y'all are not hiding this well. That's the thing. They didn't hide it well.
Yeah. Hypno City says first guess is money, 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 money. Second guess is what can we get away with? Third guess is where can I bury this stuff?
Yeah. They're coming up with a quick communication, some type of quick, and we'll probably hear about it pretty soon. They know they're screwed. Not just him, but they know that a lot. I think every single person in that meeting is in the damn documents, has had their fingerprints are on those documents. High Priestess, there's some type of secret, something they're doing in the past. The problem, their challenge though, is that they need to get out of this, go on this new path, this with the full card as their challenge. Out in the cold with about the truth too, with the Queen of Swords and the Five of Cups. Here's the thing, in the past, they thought they were being able to defend. They thought they were holding the ground with the Seven of Wands, but they're toddlers. They grouped as toddlers with the Six of Cups in the emotions, trying to also look back retroactively. What did we your lie is only as strong as your last lie. My mom used to say that all the time. Your lie is only as good as the last lie you told.
Right. You
can't say I'm a billionaire, but then also say I'm broke. I mean, you can. That's what Trump is, actually. Okay, we come up with another analogy. That was a bad analogy. But your lies have to line up. And so they're looking back. Where did we lie? What is our story? How do we use the story to move forward? There's a lot of wishful thinking. A lot of, here's the thing. There is some victory, though, in the environment, because I think there's something that hasn't quite come out yet. Because the plan has, this is the word of warning, we're waiting for it to come in. But yeah, it's about this communication. They're trying to get something together. Empress creating a new strategy, new source, and then Knight of Swords. Yeah, basically they came together to concoct a new lie, but are we surprised? 18 men and 4 different golf carts and not a single set of golf clubs.
Maybe it's some sort of a search and rescue for the golf clubs in the pond behind him. What you got, Johnny? What do you think?
I got the last time too that there's 2 of Cups. This card keeps popping up for this situation. A meeting with someone to get on the same page, because I get the Chariot too. So it's like, hey, we can't afford to not tell the same story, because I got the Page of Wands too. There's also a delivery of messaging. So I don't know if he anticipates another raid or if somebody else anticipates another one, because the King of Swords is here too. So it has something to do with either some laws or somebody in his administration may be getting in trouble too. And so there's a group meeting of, okay, we need to be on the same page, have the same agenda, do the same thing, even if they got to twist some arms or whatever to do it, because the Chariot can only move forward if everybody's doing the same thing. Yeah. If you got one horse going backwards and one horse going forwards, that's not an effective way to do this. So this is a strategy meeting. They're trying to get away with something for sure, of course, but it's not really going to work, because I think they are treading water. They're trying to catch up from behind, and no. DOJ, mind you, because if you really were ahead, you would have known they were coming. Because I'm pretty sure you had people in the FBI who liked you, but they didn't know anything about it, and nobody gave you beat me 911 and call me on my cell phone and say, hey, the FBI coming to your house, you might want to run, sucker. No. They knock, knock, knock. Here's your warrant. And then 2 more of his little friends just got their phones taken from the angry mom. So it's
right.
Like them 2 children in the back of the class, they can't stop talking. The teachers are taking their stuff away. That's how this is playing out.
Miss Crabtree, give them phones right now.
Gimme.
I use the deck of character, and I love using the deck of characters for these things, because it really allows you to use your imagination, for entertainment purposes only. So we start out with the love potion, right? We have the club. So I feel like, DJT, the big dude there, really, really thinks that this is just another day at Studio 54 to him, right? Like, just doing my thing. Everybody loves me. everything's going exactly according to plan. You know what I mean? Like he loves the adoration that he gets. And I feel like he felt like it was like smooth sailing, right? Delay, 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 deny, 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 deny. And before you know it, everything will be forgotten and some other crisis will happen and we'll move on. I think the meeting is because they're feeling really fragile. I've got the egg. I think that they feel so either egg on their face or feeling fragile like an egg, right? I feel like the meeting was about trying to reestablish their foundation, like Johnny was saying, get their story straight, right? The last card that I got was the Rock. So I sort of take that as trying to build that foundation back. And just because this card is on the bottom of my deck, I had to show it. I got the boop.
Wait! Stop! Wait! Is that a poopy?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm done. I thought I was happy. You know what? Mercury's in retrograde. I did not miss.
So I feel like, the whole thing is, I mean, you fall into a pile of it and you try to come out smelling like a rose. I don't think it's happening. He's literally falling into the pile of that and coming out smelling like that.
Yeah.
So
As
that's
I
what
say,
I got.
trying to pick up a turd by the clean end. So this is what it is.
Super scooper is required. I love it. I love it. Okay, so Angela has a question here. We're going to pop it up. This is about Prince Harry. So, question: if Harry's book is published in November, is there any possibility for the brothers to be friends? I have to tell you, people are really, I mean, today, listen, I'm from Canada. The Queen was my queen too. I know she's not, not everyone's a fan, and that's totally fine. But today I literally seen a little news thing that, King Charles loses it. So he was trying to sign a document, and he was using like one of those fountain pens, and all the ink was like pouring out of it while he was trying to sign his name on an official document with, I don't know, like Congress people or whatever behind him. And he said, "Oh, that damn thing, like it does it all the time. I hate that." And you should have seen the comments. King Charles loses it over inky pen. I'm like, he just lost his mother. He's 70 years old. He's got ink all over his hands. Like, I probably snapped too. Like, where the point I'm trying to make is like making something out of nothing is where I was going with that.
They said that Kate Middleton, that's William's wife, right?
Yes.
They said news stories now is she's an alcoholic because she belongs to a wine tasting.
Honest to God.
Like, how do we make such a large leap?
Yeah,
Like,
somebody knows that Prince William had to be told to call Prince Harry, and he extended the olive branch to. I'm like, oh my God, people!
I'm pretty sure somebody else called him to tell him about his grandma. Let's stop reaching, y'all.
Exactly. It's just.
Like, I'm pretty sure he already knew she was circling.
Yeah.
Towards the upper gates.
Well, I mean, if anyone was watching the news and you were just looking at her, you could see that she was declining. I mean, she was 96. It was right. All right. Sorry, I digress. Sorry, apologize. Back to the question: if Harry's book is published in November, is there any possibility for the brothers to be friends? Whoever's ready, go for it.
I personally don't think that the problem we see media-wise exists for them the same way anyway. I'm not saying everything is peaches and cream. I'm just saying, but everything is not so sour as it seems. The Four of Cups, there is going to be some sort of, I guess, meeting of the minds. This is reluctantly, though. So they're not meeting under the greatest of circumstances, of course, but this is something where they may be not that they're going to have an open, honest conversation. They will have the opportunity to. The Hierophant and the Page of Pentacles. So here with the leadership and the monarchy, if you will, there is an invitation that is extended, or this could possibly be the book too, with the Page of Pentacles, something physical, paper worth money. The world and the sun. This is the problem though. So they have to stay out of the limelight. And how do you do that when you're two of the most famous people on earth?
Right.
So this is something that they need to try to do in private, but they also need to try to shut out the outside voices.
Yeah.
And so if they really want a reconciliation, because again, they'll have the opportunity to, that does not mean that they will, they'll have the opportunity to just sit down and chat or be honest or have it out or whatever they need to do. But I don't think it's quite as nasty as it looks in the media, but they do have some problems between them that they need to talk about. But the opportunity is there. Whether they do it or not does not say here, but
I think there's the opportunity that they actually will, and this is way more optimistic than I was thinking. They're both incredibly stubborn right now. Four of Pentacles, they're both holding on. Whatever the hurt, whatever the issues are, we don't know about it. Like Johnny says, we think we know, we think the media is saying, and I'm willing to bet it is the exact opposite. And I also think too, with the Two of Wands and the emotions, this is something this distance has been building over time. This isn't just everybody wants to say, oh, it's because he married Megan or whatever. No, this is something that has been going over time because the seeds have been planted. That's actually the challenge with the Eight of Pentacles. The seeds have been planted. This has come to harvest. So there's a lot of illusion, confusion, and with the Knight of Wands, these new actions, they see each other. One sees each other as rigid. One sees each other as impulsive. Very different personalities. How are they going to come together? There's going to have to be, I think, I'm getting the Queen of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. This is telling me the wives, which is weird because I hear the media says the wives don't get along, but I actually think it's going to be the wives that may create this situation that Johnny says that kind of gives them an opportunity to come together with the two, because my brain is, I'm tired. My brain just got tired. It was like the women here, Four of Wands, the environment, the family is usually when I get this. So I think the two women in the family, i.e. their wives, queens in practice, princesses in practice, will. Hopes and fears that Ace of Wands, this new opportunity comes up when I get the Ace of Swords as the outcome to speak truth, bring in that the sword of truth. Now, will they be best friends after this? Probably not, but will they get to at least talk? And there's a possibility that they'll at least be amicable towards each other. There's a possibility it could be.
I love what you both got because it's very I mean, if you're a sibling, right? Put yourself in that spot if you're a sibling. You know, there is a certain point in your life, depending on where you fall in your family, that if your sibling gets married and has a family and you're not, there's a shift. And then when you get married, there's yet again another shift. And that's literally what happened. And if you go back to the series that Kate and Harry and William were doing, where they were discussing their mental health issues, there's a point in that clip where Harry says that he was encouraged by Will to start to speak up because he held everything back and held everything in and never found his voice, never used it. And now he's using it and people are coming for him. And as someone who deals with a mental health disorder, I get that. I get how you feel you need to justify yourself. And it's like he cannot make a right step. No matter what he says, it's all coming out wrong. So I wish for his mental health sake, I wish people would just like stop judging, pointing fingers. But he is in the world's lens. So I start out with the Ace of Wands, right? Inspiration, aha moment, something. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the thing that brings them together, right? I mean, honestly, friends, I digress, but I must say, I heard the other day that someone said, well, you know, their cottages are next door to each other. These are not cottages like, you know, that are 600 square feet, y'all. There's probably like 7 acres between them. But anyhow, they're next door neighbors. And apparently they never spoke until the queen got ill, and I'm like, I mean, really? Because you were there, you know? I mean, how do these people know? I mean, if I could get a bat phone to the White House or to, Harry's cottage, I mean, hook me up. But, like, I don't think anyone has one of those, do they? Sorry. Then I've got the Knight of Cups. Okay. Then I've got the Page of Wands. So I feel like this is Harry and William, right? They're standing their ground. They're doing their thing. They got to look after their family. They are now their husbands and their fathers, and they're responsible to those people first. And if you remember when William first got married and they started having kids, they moved away. And he changed the way that things were done. I want to do this and I want to do that. We're not going to work as much. And so he was very firm in what he wanted to have happen for his life. And that was okay because he is the heir. So I feel like they're working it out. I think that they are both trying to work within these new parameters. And now with their with the passing of the queen and their father becoming king, another shift is going to happen to them yet again. Right. And then I've got their daddy on the bottom. Daddy's going to make this happen. Daddy's going to bring them together. And I love this because, you know what? I loved Princess Diana and I hate what happened to her. But I equally hate that people have made an assumption that Prince Charles doesn't love his children. Because I don't think that that's the truth. And it serves us no good to think that. So Daddy's going to bring them together. And I love that. So to answer your question, yes, I think that they're going to restore their brotherly affection for each other. I don't know that they're going to be BFFs like they were, but it's a different time for them. Right?
And we have to also keep in mind, just because they're related, just like anybody else, doesn't mean they have to be best friends. They could just be blood. I mean, maybe they're oil and water. They get along if they're not in the same place. Exactly. Or they get along in spurts. Like I can talk to you for 2 hours, 3 hours, we're pushing it. So, right? And that doesn't mean they don't love each other. It just means that we're different people.
We're different people, and I always hate that when people are like, "Oh, your family, you're supposed to." No, mother sucker, you gotta call family for what it is. We are by blood because that is our spiritual contract that we all signed to come down on incarnate in this life, in this space, in this place as blood relations. But I bet you what, if I wasn't related to you by blood, I'd fight you in these streets. And I think we're just gonna
exactly. Well, I mean, we could go on, but we'll leave the royal family alone and let them, do what they've got to do. But I mean, this is a lesson for all of us, no matter what we're talking about, right? People that live in glass houses shouldn't have stones. And you can have an opinion about something, but it doesn't have to be cruel and hurtful. And I dare say, as someone who's lost both of her parents, I feel something for those poor people. You know what I mean? Like people coming at them. Anyway, let's move on, friends. So here's my next question. Bill Barr, the wonderful Bill Barr, seems to be making some sort of, I don't know, like the talk show circuit, even although it's on the news, trying to share the truth all of a sudden. And I am really curious as to what that motivation is all about. Is he thinking that an indictment is coming? Is he trying to sort of, cure some kind of conscious thing which I mean, I'm sorry, but I just want to know what that motivation is all about. Where is this coming from? This truth-seeking quest that he seems to be on. Miss City says Bill wears too much cologne. Hi, everybody in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Please make sure that you are subscribed to Red Lentil Healing and wonderful people, excellent readings, lots of laughs and fun times on their channels. And of course, make sure you give me a thumbs up, please, and thank you. Everyone's got opinions. I love it. Go for it, Adrian.
I can't stand this man. So I'm sorry. I want to make sure very clear. My eye roll, because the timing of that eye roll was when you were playing. It was not about you. It was, I literally threw the last card right when you were doing the plug. And I was like, I cannot stand that floppy, flat-footed Fred Flintstone, aka Bart. This whole this. Oh Jesus! Please let me have some kind words. He's at a crossroads. He's blocked because he knows that the government got all and government got everything, and there's somebody very high up who has a lot of information as well. He's about to be blocked. He knows that he cannot hide, not lie anymore. He is incredibly anxious. What does he do? What is this all about? King Knight of Swords going out to try to tell his version of the truth. So because he's burdened to get to higher water, to get out of this situation that he's in. His name may even be in some of those documents. Yeah. There's an adage in PR. I used to do PR for many years, and I say, he who tells the story first controls the narrative. And so he's trying to control the narrative.
Yes, ma'am.
I also think, too, there was Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck, and my next cup is the Five of Wands. He's also giving, pay attention to what he's saying, too. He's giving coded message to Republicans because so they can stop fighting and kind of get in line. He's delivering messages. He's saying things. Because even if you watched him when he was on Fox and Friends last week, he'll say the truth, then he'll kind of back up a little bit, and then he'll say it again. What he's doing is he's trying to he knows who's watching. There's your little dog whistles, if you will, so they know what he knows, so they can go out and act accordingly. That's how I'm gonna phrase it.
I almost wish I never asked the question now. That's like, because that's probably the most accurate. Yuck.
That's what I get to. There's the Eight of Wands is the first card. There's your media talking tour. There's a person from the past here with the Six of Cups, a man here who's lighting a fire under him with the Death and the Six of Wands, trying to strip something from his power or his former power, with the Six of Cups being the past. So there's somebody literally after him, and I think he's trying to, as Adrian said, because that's the first card, control the narrative. There is a story that he wants told, or a image even, because remind you, he is the captain of image swapping. He is trying to make himself maybe look like the reason the country didn't fall apart is because he was there. And
right.
There were certain things that he told Trump were just not a good idea. And no, you shielded him from 2 impeachments, or 2 removals, I should say.
Right.
So I think he's trying to control the narrative because somebody is after him.
100%. This is just, when you ask a question, I wish I never asked this, because I like it a whole lot better what I was thinking before. But anyway, moving on.
These people are
on for just a hot minute there. Sorry. I start out with the Three of Cups. Gross. Right. This is like Adrian said, and like Johnny said, trying to control the narrative, bring the community back together. It's like some sort of mating call, ugh. Anyway, I got the Six of Wands. Right, he wants to be seen. He wants to be heard. He wants to sort of tie this up in a pretty little bow if he can. I've got the Moon card. I don't really need to explain this, right? This is just, the whole thing is just yuck. I need that other card that I pulled before. The poop card. And then I've got the Five of Swords. This all kinds of stuff. And I got the King of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. And look at that. I've got the Ten of Swords behind that. I don't know that this is going to work out for him the way that he hopes, but I just have like a really icky feeling I don't know. Do you think they're listening to them? Like, do you think that they're listening to him? Do you think that the message is being heard by the people?
By the people, no, but the people who are it's intended for, which is the GOP people who have their hands dirty. Yes, he's actually giving them the play-by-play. He's telling them what he knows. He still has high connections in the DOJ and DOD and all of that. So he's telling them what he knows, and that's why we need to pay attention. He's giving them. What do you think, Johnny?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. They all do that. McConnell, him. Trump couldn't do it because he didn't know how to stay on script. But the people who know how these things work, the people who've been around for a long time, Mr. Iran-Contra, and then Mitch McConnell, the lifelong politician, they know exactly what to do and what to say.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you all have a question? Burning question, anything that
we asked the first one? I want to know what was up with that. So many grown men in the golf carts in my life, and I used to golf. I'm telling you, I almost drove down the street to see what was going on down there.
You'd have been the only one there with clubs.
I had another joke, but I'm glad I kept that in there. That's not the only one. The only thing I would have been the only of. But yes,
that would have been funny.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it would have been funny, not really funny, but you know what I mean. I love it. All right, so bye, honey. My husband's leaving for hockey. He volunteers at the local hockey club, so he's off to see the kiddos. Isn't that nice of him?
It is very
So yesterday, Representative Abigail Span, S-P-A-N, Berger from Virginia, was on with Rachel Maddow, I believe. And she was talking about a bill that she has drafted called the Trust in Congress Act that she did in 2020. And basically, it is to stop congressional trading. Stock trading, that is. She is curious, as am I, as to why it is meeting so much resistance and why it has not arrived at the floor. Apparently, it's like it needs this, they got that. Then it needed that, they got this. And then it just keeps being moved from left to right and back and forth. And I would like to know what's up with that.
Smells a little janky.
Try to be impartial.
Listen. How many times I had to put this deck down while you were reading that question so I didn't taint it with my own thoughts.
Why is it being moved?
That's funny. Hypnocity says you can't raise a bar. That is so heavy. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for being here. Appreciate all of you. If you have a question, make sure you put it in capitals and emojis so I can see it because there's lots of people in the chat. I don't want to miss your question.
Well, not the answer I was expecting. Really? Pull a clarifier.
Right?
Really? Well, hell. Oh, maybe that makes sense. Dang. Okay, now I'm more confused.
You gotta love it when that happens. When you pull out clarifiers and it confuses you.
I'm not confused. I just don't like I hate to have to be the messenger of Johnny. You go. I hate to be this bearer of bad news. I hate to throw you under the bus.
Well, what was the question again?
So the question is, why was it being shelved? Right.
The bill for what was the bill again?
The bill is called the Trust in Congress Act.
So that they wouldn't insider trade, basically.
Right, to stop congressional members from being able to not share that information.
For greed, is what I get. The Page of Pentacles is the bill itself, some sort of document that speaks about money. The star in the future here, the collaborations between those, and the star is for the future. There's also provision for the future. That's why the water's on the land, and then some's in the puddle. The puddle's for now, the land is for later. The Temperance, the working together, especially when it comes to, for whatever reason, I get a huge sense of pharmaceutical too, because this is possibly a really big thing for them. This is the reason why healthcare also gets shelved and shelved and shelved by the same exact person. But anyway, neutral. And then there is the Seven of Pentacles. These are your investments. And so I said, okay, clarify the investments, because maybe it's not investments, maybe it's assessment. Maybe problem with tarot is one card means 8 things. So I'm like, okay, let me clarify assessment, because I know I'm a little bit skewed. And then I get the Four of Pentacles. That's holding on to something tightly. You don't want something to change because you're fear of change. And then the Five of Wands. There's your bickering and conflict. And then God's second son. So it's like, and there's the devil and the greed. So you can read that any kind of way you want to, but Google what it means. So if you don't believe me, there you go. Why change things when I benefit?
My answer is, why change things when I benefit? There's too much illumination that's going to come out. Because there's something in that bill too that's going to make them disclose who they're with. They can't have that. It's going to make them super overly emotional. They can't do it. Oh, Jesus, please give me the strength of using my words carefully as I describe these next 2 cards. There's a woman who does not want the balance here.
Yep.
Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Because again, to defending the money, the holding out with the money, with the Seven of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. Here's the jacked up part. This is where I was trying to be nice, but I can't. Major change, heartbreak about the money is why they won't do it. With the Three of Swords, the Death card, and the Ten of Pentacles. The Death card, you notice, is in the center. This change, this new way of doing is going to impact pennies. It's going to make some people, the people that it directly impacts, feel betrayed. Here's to why would they feel betrayed? Because one of their own created the bill.
That's right.
That's the card I was actually looking for. I thought that's what was going to pop up.
One of their own created it. Well, what do you mean that we can't? Don't you know you're messing up our own pockets? That's why they feel betrayed. Because you can, like Johnny always says, you can't be betrayed by your enemy. You know your enemy's going to screw you over. That's your enemy's whole job, is to, they wake up in the morning, how can I hate? They go to bed at night thinking, how can I hate better tomorrow? It hurts more when the call comes from inside the house.
Right.
And they're like, I want my money messed up. They also use that, I just heard very clearly, as bargaining chips.
Yeah. That's super interesting. These guys are so good. I feel like I'll just sit here and work the chat. You all can throw the card.
What did you get?
I'm gonna add some humor, because literally, and this is not using any kind of psychic ability, I can just imagine that, all the representatives, like Lauren Barber specifically, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Remember all back in the day when you had paper routes and the kids would come to the door to collect the money, and they'd have that silver change dispenser, and they'd be like ching 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 ching. That's what the congressional people will be wearing in the house, because they'd be counting their pennies, friends. Sorry.
Literally.
Wouldn't that be lovely? I start out with the Chariot. So things happening quickly. I feel like that news broadcast and putting that out there is not going to be good for a particular Speaker of the House, and maybe she may have to answer some questions for that. And this is a Democrat, by the way, that this is about. Did I say that? We have the King of Wands. I believe that this King of Wands is the partner that she wrote this bill with. We have Miss P. Literally, Miss Pentacles here. This is Nancy Pelosi, and I like Nancy Pelosi, but this is her stopping this because she likes her comfort and her luxury. This is the representative, Abigail Spanberger, standing in all of her power, that was a powerful move for the Democrat to go on the Rachel Maddow show and say, I don't know what's taking so long. We got bipartisan support. Not sure why. Nancy Pelosi shelving it. Maybe it'll come out this week. That's literally what she said. I feel like, this is an upward battle for her. One of the last things that she said on that news broadcast was, why would anyone reject this? Because we should be working for you. We're not here to work for ourselves. And I was like, ooh, ouch. Felt that. I got the 10 of Swords. So this is going to cause a lot of stress. That's not the 10, that's the 9. Sorry. I can't count. I don't know my Roman numerals. This is causing a lot of stress, a lot of worry, and it's going to create some infighting, I feel. And then I got the 6 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like just maybe, friends, there may be some movement. Is it going to pass? I don't know, but there might be some movement. Because according to her in her news report, there was a bunch of adjustments that needed to be made. So maybe someone will move it from the pile to the left to the pile to the right and bring it a little closer to center, and they will feel like there's some sort of victory. But I don't think this is going to pass anytime soon.
She's going to have a lot of anxiety too, because she's bucking at the system.
Oh yeah, she's just put a huge target on him, right?
Yeah.
And what is so interesting is the 3 of Swords that I pulled. I've got a little bit more context, especially after you read. It's I kept forgetting. I guess I just blocked it out. She's a Democrat.
Yeah.
That's why Mother Nan feels so betrayed, because we all have this impression. Those of us who are more liberal on the Democratic scale feel that our Dems, we're not as bad as the Republicans. We're not as bad as the Republicans. And we're like, oh, that's just something the Republicans would do. Let's do this to fight the Republicans. And it's like, no, but really the person who's the most pissed is a Dem. And even though the Dems created this law, that's why they feel betrayed. It is the call. Again, the call is coming from inside the house. This is causing us to check our perceptions of good versus evil. And we're having to remind ourselves is at the end of the day, they're politicians, and politicians are human.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was so nice of me. I'm so proud.
That was. well done, Adrian. Okay. We've got just a little more than 15 minutes to go here. I did have one more question, and I'm just kind of like, I don't even know that I want to read on it, to be perfectly honest. So, Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz has someone running against him, Rebecca Jones. And if I'm not mistaken, forgive me because I am a Canadian, friends. Rebecca Jones caused a bunch of trouble because she was like some sort of a whistleblower there in Florida. She had her house raided by the FBI that DeSantis sent after her, apparently, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. The whole thing that we got to say. So Rebecca Jones and Matt Gates were working some fair farm, some kind of whatever, and they were both standing at different booths, and she had brought her son with her, and she alleges that Matt Gates or someone that works for Matt Gates took pictures of her son to use in a very derogatory manner, and he has autism, so that's just really low, I feel. So she came out on a post on social media and actually challenged him to a debate. And I want to know if Matt Gates is going to take her up on that challenge. How's that? Well, I guess there's two questions, right? One is he going to bite? And two, how's that going to go? I mean, honestly, we could do a whole show about the debates as we were talking about before, right, Adrian?
My thing is, children should always be off limits.
Yeah.
I put the cards down, so I'm about to go on a tangent. Children should be off limits, number one.
Absolutely.
Number two, okay, let me put it this way. Underage children. Because when we children list, to me, I'm talking about anybody 18 and under the age of 18. Doesn't this mother sucker have a history with children anyway?
Right.
Go ahead, Johnny. Put them.
That he should be avoiding at all costs.
Yeah.
And so you have a history with underage children. Then you're going to try to take a smear picture of an underage child who is on the spectrum, who has autism spectrum disorder, to use as what kind of leverage or blackmail? You can't, dude, you.
Yeah. So distasteful. So distasteful. I mean, it's distasteful in terms of that's the best that you can do. That's like literally like, oh, I'll show you. That's I mean, it's something that you would expect of a child, not of an adult, but you know.
He is a child.
I was just going to say I use the term loosely, but go.
Actually, a child. Ooh, I'm starting to like how this is playing out. Oh, that's not okay. Well, never mind. Hold on.
You're right, geek. It is all kinds of wrong.
Okay.
What you got, Johnny?
I did a read and it didn't answer the question, so I just pulled one for yes, no. I get no, but the reading said 6 of Swords. So he is trying very hard because this is a transition. It's a bit of a painful one. So it's one that you have to kind of make and go through some ups and downs and blah, blah, blah. Which, if it's a painful transition, that means you're trying to get out of something. Right. Which means you know you are in something or you have done something that has got you into something. As they say, what is the easiest thing to get into, but the hardest thing to get out of is trouble. So something here is caused him a lot of trouble that he's trying to eke his way out of. There's some sort of family group here or some sort of big group of like-minded people that is shedding a lot more light on this. So even if it seems like a small insignificant thing or if it's just personal to her, it's actually going to expand and become an even bigger thing, especially when they get to talking with that Page of Wands. And this is possibly social medias for me too. And there's a man here who is taking account of this. Yeah. King of Wands is an investigator for me. And so there's a man who is taking account of this. I don't know how this would play into what, but they wrote it down. So you might want to watch a step home away.
Sorry, Tony. Marie Henson says she's gonna smack Beavis upside that big old forehead.
No, because they're not gonna he won't even debate her. The world and the tower. He's not gonna come near it. He gotta check himself. He may actually have to run away from it. He said whatever he did was so bad. He thought he was trying to be sneaky, but he's gonna have to run and hide something. Sit back from something. It's interesting. Johnny said investigator. That there may be some type of child endangerment, something too, that he may face because he did this. If she has proof that he did it, he may be in a just say he's in trouble. when it comes to a pattern that he has. So I don't think he's going to debate her. I think he's not going to. I would be surprised if he did.
Yeah. Sharon Sipe, just to go around for a minute, Sharon Sipe has put this up that Marie's Table Tarot, her husband has passed away. And so, of course, we send her our love and our condolences. And I encourage everyone to go to Marie's channel and maybe, leave a kind word. I'm sure that would be appreciated. We send her our thoughts and our prayers. I can't make head nor tail out of this, but I don't know. I don't know if it's because of the readings that I do or what, but I got to put a pretty bow on these things. I'll say it. I'm mostly picking up on her, which is great. So we start out with him feeling all sensitive, and I mean it just makes me honestly want to vomit. But anyway, so this is him in all of his loveliness. Think that he's all like, that in the sandwich. And he took an opportunity, and it was wrong. And now it's driving him a little bit cray-cray because he realizes that he gone, I'm going to say it, plug your ears, he gone effed up, is what he did. And
oh, you muted it.
Pull that card back up again. At first I thought the crow had pooped on his shoulder. He was just like, oh. And I was like, that's about what happened. And that's the same face I made when a bird had pooped on my shoulder. So yeah, okay. Keep going. My apologies. Okay.
So yeah. So he knows he messed up. He when you get overly excited about something. Yeah. That's one of those moments where he should have thought before he spoke, kind of ideas. This is her. You came for the wrong thing. You went after her baby. And she's going to come at you through love. I mean, honestly, I don't know how she stayed so calm in her sort of response back. Her community is standing behind her. They are applauding her. They are all about it. And she is standing in her power with the Queen of Wands. She is just like, bring it. Bring it. Now, this is interesting. I got the Ten of Swords on the bottom of the deck.
And here's my thing, too. All these people, they can't be, well, yes, they can. They can be they're not taking notes and being conscious of all this. But when you put in the ground something, it comes back out as something.
Right.
So when you put in, I'm going to take pictures, because mind you, he has a picture reputation of being on the Senate floor and showing inappropriate pictures to people. And so now I'm taking pictures of other people's kids, and now I'm also being investigated for little people and all these. Like there's you're putting this stuff in the ground, now it's coming back to you. This is yours. You asked
it goes, because I'm saying earlier, it goes to a pattern that he has. That's why that we're saying that investigator is looking at him. This goes back to his pattern.
Yeah.
And this investigator knows his pattern, and his investigator's like, you.
Yeah. What Adrian said. Wow. I feel like we need a I don't know, some sort of a cleanse or something.
So go ahead.
It's great. Can I have some too? Squirt it at the screen. No. I'm ready.
There you go.
I say in the midst of worldwide, because it always has been. This is not just recent. It's just we got news that goes everywhere now. In the midst of worldwide pandemics and the worldwide bad news that we're constantly inundated with, because news is 24 hours instead of being respectful, like TV used to go off at a certain Can we do a read on, especially right now in retrograde with all the miscommunications going on? I had 4 of them just today alone. Can we do a read and see what kind of thing, instead of just the usual advice of shut off the news, what advice can we get to sort of keep our energy calm in the midst of right now, in the midst of being 24-hour news cycle always being bad news? What can we do to keep our own energy calm?
I love that.
Other than just shut off the news, because that's works, period, but we don't do that sometimes. So,
well, sometimes it can find you. You know what I mean? Like, it's everywhere.
I would say you can be on a social media feed talking about puppies, and
Yeah.
the news is still going to somehow come into that. So, yes, whole planets in retrograde, and every single one of those planets, or all the planets that are in my ascended, descended, sun, rising, moon, afterbirth, rebirth, connection birth, all 6 of them.
Well, we got a lot going on, friends. Like, we really, really do.
Lord Jesus.
Yes.
Well, okay. It's like it tells you things, and then you're like, well, yeah, but give me something deeper and more spiritual, so I can sound like Yoda or something. Like, give me something else. But no. Sometimes life is not that complicated. We just make it that.
That's right.
Good Lord, okay.
Oh, that don't help.
I get the first card, Temperance. Temperance is what we need to have, period, just in life. And whether it's good or bad or whatever, this is your balance. This is not just your balance, though. It is a healing card, but it's not like your physical cough, cough, heal. This is your energy. This is healing after trauma. This is replenishing thyself, because you cannot fill anybody else's vessel if yours is empty. And so you have to be able to take care of self. Find out what truth is, stand in truth, on truth, beside truth, and then leave the rest of it alone. Remember that a conversation and a debate are not the same thing. And then sometimes you can have a conversation with the person and they have no idea what the facts are, but then it turns into an argument. A debate, you both have some sort of point of view that is worth listening to. Everybody talking to you ain't got something good to say. So stand in the truth, protect your own energy, listen to your guides and your guts. It's never going to lead you astray with the High Priestess. The High Priestess knows the truth. She is modeled after Persephone, who ate the pomegranate. She went to the underworld. She got the secrets. She came back. She knows everything now. You have to pay the toll to get the information from her. You got to ask the right question or the whatever it is. But she knows. She knows what she knows, and she knows it. And so she is not going to waver. You can't take her off of that. She knows what she knows. So stand in your truth, stand in the truth, and temper thyself. Protect your own energy from any and everyone. That's too simple. I want something else.
When I go to the fridge.
I'm getting, go into it with an open mind. So listen to and go into it, get illumination and facts. Let's be honest. I'm going to call myself out, but I think I'm going to speak truth to a lot of people. At least since, I don't know, mid when Obama was in office, when the Republicans retook control of Congress, when I turned on the news, it was, so what kind of frackle knackle are they doing today?
Right.
You've immediately closed your mind off to being open to receive new information. I'm walking into this with this perception that the Dems are going to underreact to some bull crap that the Republicans are going to do. I'm already walking in on 10. I'm already ready to knuck if you buck If you don't give a darn, we don't give a pluck, and
Yeah.
fight.
Yep.
That is such a bad way to have. And I am a trained media literacy person. I know how this works, but yet I would go in already.
Yeah.
Ready to, and even then with the training, what lies are they telling me? Adrian, stop. We've got to be open when we go. If we're going to continue to consume the news, be open. There was a time where we could watch Fox News and CNN and pull the two pieces of the puzzle together, CSNBC, whatever. We may need to go back to the C-SPAN days. If you're having a hard time watching, just watch C-SPAN.
Yeah.
Because really, them mother suckers just put the camera in the room and let it go.
Yeah, exactly.
Do whatever you can do. Have an open mind to truly, with this illumination, that's really what the sun is about, this illumination. The things that were dark are now light. You can see the sunlight is bright. It can show everything that was once in the shadow of the moon.
Mhm.
Be open. Say, I want to be the vessel to learn. I want to see what's going on in the world today instead of I'm going to go in, like Adrian said she did, with this, what bull crap is going on right now. Stop that mindset. Be open.
I love that. So, I just want to say that I love you both. I don't know if it's cool to say that or not, but I really do.
We love you too, Kelly.
Thank you. I love you both because you're here. I love you both because of who you are and, the support that you've given me. And that means the world to me. And so that I don't start crying and sniffling, I will try to contain my emotions. And I also love that we picked up on the same message. That just makes me feel all kinds of great. I've pulled the wilderness card. This is untamed. I feel like this is how we have felt for a long time, that things are coming unglued at the seams, that things are falling apart, all the cracks are being sort of exposed, and we're like white knuckling everything, right? In terms of not knowing how to or sort of regain our control over the situation. Because I think that, we walk through life with blinders on, right? We're very like tunnel vision, like I got to do this, I got to get up, go to work, feed the kids, that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden you turn on the news one day and you're like, oh my God, it's on every station. So now it's true. I can't say it's fake news. I can't pretend it's not happening. It's like everywhere. We really can't get away from it. And then what do? We start to isolate. As I said before, as someone with a mental health disorder, this card is me. This is what I do. Roll up in the fetal position when I don't like what I'm hearing. I'm really good at pretending that things aren't happening. But as Adrian and Johnny said, the truth. You like my chakra card, Adrian? I did that just for you, love. This is third eye chakra. This is seeing. It's about perspective and clarity and truth and knowledge, right? It's understanding that what we're seeing, not just what we're hearing, is how we form which way we navigate, right? Which path that we want to take. Because we got to have all the information. That's how we have an unskewed perspective, if you will. And when we get that, when we see the truth, we are open. We're open. As Johnny and Adrian both said, diversity, we need to be more open. And I just want to add, I think that we need to be mindful of the fact that we need to be more open. We can't just, because right now I think a lot of people are suffering from we have to vote Democrat because we can't dare to vote any other way. And I think that that's really bothering a lot of people. And I want everyone to understand that it's okay that bothers you, right? It's okay that bothers you. So get out and vote and use your voice to change the perception and change the narrative. Because I think that we're going to see some surprising things come up in the future. Do you not?
Yeah. But again, this is my message. I parrot over and over and over again. People will say the world always gets worse when it actually gets better.
Yes.
And look at the screen right now as living proof. 200 years ago, this would have never been.
Right.
We'd all been burnt at the stake. I'd have been a
Right.
slave somewhere. So it's like this is not something that would have ever happened. So
Right.
yeah.
And
It gets
stay calm. History repeats itself.
Yes.
Go watch documentaries. Go back and watch CNN's one on the impeachment. Go watch Eyes on the Prize. Go watch things, and you realize that, well, we've gone through this before. It's just greater taste, less filling. We call it something new now, but
Yeah.
which to let you know, don't get discouraged that we're going through it. It hasn't changed. What you need to remember is we've survived this before. We will survive it again.
Yeah. I think to that point that sometimes we forget that there has been changes, there has been steps forward. You just get sick of hearing it packaged or seeing it packaged up in the same sort of, pretty little paper. It gets on your nerves and it gets annoying, and you feel like we've made no progress. Of course we've made progress. Of course we've made steps in the right direction. This took a long time to get to this messy point. It ain't going to be fixed in no hot minute. So we have to be open.
And in the tarot, the Wheel of Fortune is a circle for a reason. So it's like this is going to come around again and again. Because mind you, the same exact kind of people exist in every era.
Yes.
The same great people, the same crazy people, the same great people, the same great. So that's why everything keeps repeating, because the same kind of murderous person existed then, the same kind of charitable person existed then, and they exist now. So we just keep going around and around, but we'll be all right. As long as the sun is the only thing you really need to worry about, because once it blows up, we're all dead. So there you go.
That's positive.
So we got many years.
Johnny is you're doing your live tonight, right? I know you've got to go for it, right?
Oh, I'm in no hurry. I'm here.
So Johnny,
I live in the now. So.
Is he not the best? So Johnny's going to do his live when we're finished here. So everybody go on over there and check that out. And Adrian, are you doing your Friday night with friends this week?
Yes.
What time is that, love?
Oh, it's 7:30.
7:30.
Yes.
So go on over there and check out my friends, please. Thank you so much to the both of you for being here. I know that you rushed here from work, Adrian, and I really appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, I needed this more than you'll know. So thank you.
Thank you. It just means the world to me that you're both here. I just, I thank you, both of you. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing tea time with Ben. So Ben lives in England, so he's coming. Ben from Beneficial Tarot will join me. So for cards and chat, we're calling it tea time with Ben. Why the heck not? And at 9 p.m. Eastern, I have Indigo Jaguar Intuitive Arts joining me for fall. It's for Achieving Wellness, which is my program that I do for all things, to lift our moods and help us in terms of any kind of mental health disorders or stresses that you may be dealing with. And we're talking about fall colors and how they're going to boost your mood. So we're going to pull some cards and do some chatting about that. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you to everyone in the chat for hanging out with us. We hope that you have a good evening, and we send you many blessings. Mwah! Bye, everybody.